of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Let's see, where is this? Before we get started here, at our last meeting, I wasn't aware we had Lisa McLean's aide here, and apparently he had a recognition that he wanted to present to me, and I told him I wanted to wait till after the meeting. And what it was is it's a congressional, sort of like a congressional certificate, and it was made to me. But even though it was made to me, it belongs to you. So with your indulgence here, I want to read that. It says, Dear Mayor, I have it, and I left it on the table at home. So it says, Dear Mayor Ashford, I want to extend my sincere congratulations to you on the occasion of your one-year anniversary as mayor of the city of Port Huron. This milestone offers an opportunity to recognize not only your first year as mayor, but also your many years of dedicated service to the Port Huron community. Serving as mayor is both an honor and a significant responsibility. Prior to being elected mayor, you spent years serving on the Port Huron City Council, building a strong understanding of the city and its residents and the values held by the community. Your continued service reflects a deep commitment to Port Huron and a willingness to step forward when called to serve. Your historic election marked an important moment for the city and stands as a testament to the trust placed in you by its residents. The milestone also reflects the continued growth of our city and the shared value of those who call Port Huron home. Please accept this letter as recognition of your first year of service, as well as appreciation for your many years of service to the city of Port Huron. I extend my best wishes for the work ahead and for your continued service to our community. Sincerely, Lisa C. McLean, Member of Congress. And so it's just a regular folder you get in a certificate. You can clap, because that is an honor, and that's for you. Yeah. So it's not for me, it's for you, and so it certainly is a humble thing that she gave me here. So you don't look for anything or any pats on the back or anything. It's just all done in love, and it's just the thing to do and what I love doing. And you have made that a lot more richer by your receptivity and how you reach out and continue to reach out and come here and be a part of our city and making sure that we are all together up here as one. So thank you, City of Port Huron. Now, we will call the roll, please.
Councilmember Archibald. Councilmember Haremza.
Here.
Councilmember Lamb.
Here.
Councilmember Mosherak. Councilmember Payton.
Here.
Councilmember Pemberton.
Here.
Mayor Ashford.
Present. Council members, you have before you the meeting from January the 26th. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Councilmember Lamb and supported by Councilmember Pemberton. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Haremza.
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb.
Yes.
Councilmember Payton.
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton.
Yes.
Mayor Ashford.
Yes. Our next item here.
To hear comments concerning liquor licensees delinquent in payment of taxes and/or income tax reporting and payments.
The public hearing is now open. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to address the public hearing this evening? Going once, going twice, seeing none, public hearing closed. Okay, item E. And now is the time for public comment. Speakers may address the city council on any agenda item or any matter under the city's jurisdiction. Speakers are allotted 1 4-minute opportunity to make their comments. And the clerk will proceed to call those names, please.
Our first speaker will be Crystal Mank.
Beg your pardon?
Am I free to start?
Yes, yes.
Let's talk about police misconduct. I have addressed you guys at previous meetings about Officer Tristan Shouty, badge number 45, and the incident he and I had on March 18, 2025. Eileen Tesh aired a special report on Officer Shouty on November 7, 2025, in regards to Tristan's police misconduct with Charles Reed, which is a resident, and with me. According to her report, Tristan got a substantial raise of approximately $12,000 as she got from the budget. The raise came from our city manager, James Freed, as he is responsible for hiring and firing the Port Huron police officers. When it came to the audit done on the city of Port Huron, the lady came and showed all the little numbers on the slides and showed all the funding that has ran through our city. The funding for our law enforcement should have been elaborated on, as we the people in our city hall meetings have asked for. We want to know. The residents should be able to ask auditor questions. We are forced to pay taxes here. We should be able to ask questions as we live here and get the truth about our funding. Officer Tristan Shouty has shown his police misconduct on more than one occasion, hence the body cam footage that was leaked to the news. Tristan Shouty is an officer of the law here in Port Huron, but keeps breaking the law himself, along with breaking his oath. Tristan Shouty's fellow officers just sit by, watch, and allow Tristan Shouty to perform acts of police misconduct as seen on body cam. They are just as guilty as he is. As this is going on in our city to our residents by our police, our city manager, James Freed, is also sitting by allowing this to happen to our tax-paying residents. Instead, he gives substantial raises and no severe consequences. Officer Shouty keeps costing our city money. When does it end? When do we, the tax-paying residents, have to pay for his misconduct? We, the people, demand an audit of Tristan Shouty and all acts of police misconduct of all officers and be investigated. I and my entire family have been targeted and harassed by law enforcement here in Port Huron, Michigan. First Amendment audits is my way of speaking for the people and my posterity. Look at BW Rock. Hosting events at bars and host members got arrested after event for DUI. This is a nonprofit organization for rehabilitation for addicts. They get funding from our city. I would really like to hear from Todd Shouty, our city attorney, as to what he thinks of his son Tristan's behavior in his duties as an officer of the law, who took an oath to uphold and protect the Constitution. Or does he cover it up for him? Is there really any accountability or consequences for Tristan? Maybe Tristan does what he wants because he has no proper training to enter the force, or just lack of consequence, period. Or the fact that Todd Shouty is his father. Don't tarnish the name factor. It's like the saying, it's all who you know. I started auditing in July 2024 because I had to protect myself from government agencies and realized more needs to be done. I go on YouTube. Officer Shouty is the first officer to retaliate against me for doing what I have the right to do. I'm not breaking any laws. If Tristan was not bad policed, he would have no problem letting me do my audit peacefully, as I have done in the past. I have helped officers in apprehending suspects that have actually committed crimes. For example, it came across a scanner that an adult son hit his mother in the head with a hammer and sliced his father in the back of the head with a box cutter and ran out the back door. Me and my brother, Jonathan Mankey, tracked him down and police were able to apprehend. All other officers go with the audits, but not Tristan. Tristan arrested me on March 18, 2025 during one of my First Amendment audits for trespass, misuse of 911, and obstruction. When I was charged on August 12, 2025, I wasn't charged with trespass. I was charged with misuse of 911 and felony obstruction. In October 25, all charges were dismissed for lack of probable cause that a crime existed in Judge John Monahan's court following a preliminary examination. Why did this happen? It's self-explanatory. He tried claiming trespass to stop me from auditing him. This is a prime example of an officer supposed to protect our city misusing his power. after my incident with Officer Tristan Chowdy, your retaliation.
Your time is up.
Along with
Your
every
time
other
is up.
officer.
Thank you so much for your comments. Next.
Rachel Farquhar.
Rachel Farquhar, 19th Ave. First thing I'd like to say is I really enjoyed the working session this past week. I thought that it was great to see the council members working together and coming up with some ideas of what we have been asking for as the people of this city. I appreciate that. I very much appreciate seeing the resolution 26019 for the public hearing to go over the community needs and development with housing and special services, especially with this last few weeks of the cold and the situation as far as trying to find housing for those people who are on the streets and who fall through the cracks. I think that having the public hearings to allow agencies to come in and to allow the people to come in and say what they're seeing and seeing how that can be helped and how we can all unite together. I think that's a great opportunity. The other thing that I had noticed on the agenda was the approving the city of Port Huron's residency incentive policy. And I did get a little bit of clarification, but not quite enough. If we're trying to recruit workers to replace those who we are set to lose, which from what Mr. Freed said was 30% of our workforce, for the city, we're set to lose to retirement. Rather than giving a 5% increase only to employees who already live in the city in Port Huron, I would prefer to see an incentives offered such as relocation. Quite clear what the exact incentive policy is going to be as far as that goes, if it's just an overall raise for anyone who already lives in the city and works for the city, or if that's just a recruitment situation. Doing it this way, where we're given the assistance for down payments and for relocation, we're directly addressing the real barrier, the lack of available affordable housing, and this would actually help employees that don't live in the city move to the city. I think that's what I see as a more beneficial road than what I was left to assume is we're just going to give everyone who works for the city, if they live in the city, a 5% raise. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Brian Farquhar.
Brian Farquhar, 19th Avenue. I as well appreciate the work session that happened the other day. I kind of did some thinking about some things that were brought up and whatnot, and there's things that like spawn together. Conrad, you had brought up growth and opportunity, and you want to see that for the city. Barb had brought up, some concerns about zoning. As far as like zoning and whatnot go, Port Huron City is one of the only cities that does not allow storage unit facilities inside of like commercial zoned areas. The city of Port Huron is industrial only for that right now. Use Fort Gratiot as example. They opened up that storage facility in the mall. You want people to live here, they've got to have a place to put their stuff, right? Getting down, so like that's a good thing, a way to work to change things. Like I had said, lax some of the zoning and the building ordinances, allow people to maintain their houses a little better and whatnot, and then that gives them the opportunity to do some other things. I also have some concerns with this approving the city residency initiative policy. Basically, it seems like a raise, right? And use some broad numbers here. If somebody's making $50,000, so that 5% raise or whatever, that's like less than $2,000, right? That's not big money. Somebody's making over $100,000, we're putting an extra $5,000 into their pocket, okay? Now, The issue with that is there's not very many city employees that make over $100,000, okay? Like the upper command staff, the city manager, you know, some of the guys that put in tons and tons and tons of overtime on DPW, that kind of stuff, but it just doesn't seem, it seems like it can be done better. And my wife came up with a good idea, possibly, you know, some moving incentives, some down payment incentives, some things like that. But just to give a raise to somebody because they live in the city, it's kind of a slap in the face to the city of residents who pay a 1% income tax, but now we're going to give them a 5% increase on their thing. So really that's 4%, and we're going to pay their income tax to the city for them, which just seems kind of whatever. The other thing is I want to highlight the events that took place in downtown this weekend and through the city of Port Huron. Chili Fest went off without a hitch. The people that plan that do a great job year after year. TMA Electric did great this weekend, putting on the races down in front of CAN N43. Chad and his staff down there did awesome. The residents together got to, you know, a couple businesses, a couple residents got together and put on an event and showed that they can pick up after themselves. They can do it safely. They can, you know, police themselves well and the rest of it. So it shows that we have good people in the community doing good things and the rest of it. My last couple seconds I got here, Mr. Pemberton, as a resident, I would request that you start showing up a little more often, sir. You didn't come to the goal session meeting. You have a lack of history of making your, you know, committee appointments. You're batting about 70%, if even that, as far as council meetings go. If you want to represent us and you want to make decisions for us, then be here for us, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. Thank you.
So our next
please.
speaker is Dimitri Stafford.
Yeah, Dimitri Stafford. I'm with Blue Water Area Rescue Mission. Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming and showing support to the citizens here for this community. I just want to say, first of all, again, thank you. I just moved back from Houston, and probably the worst time to move back because, as y'all can tell, it's been really cold. But I grew up here. I've lived all over South Park, Midtown, North End, went to PH and Northern. And, you know, as a kid, growing up on government assistance, I didn't know I was going to be standing in front of council like this, but it's just a blessing to God, and just to see how God works and how He's changed my life. And as I've come back, me and my wife would always come back, and we love this city. It's an amazing place. I don't know if a lot of us know how blessed this place is. You don't get a lot of blue water in everywhere, and I would just say, when I came back, I was blessed with the opportunity to be the new executive director at Be Warm. Again, at a very challenging time, but one of the things that I want to brag on is how I've watched a community come together through the moments of trying to get some of our homeless population into safe places. And as a man of faith, I've watched people who may not believe what I believe come together. And it's just been amazing. And so I would just say that as Be Warm being a nonprofit, we can't do it without the community. It really takes a village. So we partner with businesses, with churches, with individuals, with families, with the community service coordinating body. And it really takes a village to make those things happen. And I know sometimes you get on social media and I can see both sides, but say personally what I've seen is people coming together. And so I would personally say that is what makes this city special, through the diversity, through the many different beliefs to come together. And so I know my boy over here, he was a pastor, he came in and preached. I'm also a minister, so I thought it would be fitting if I share one scripture. It's not long. It's a scripture that God put on my heart during the pandemic, and it was, "Don't turn to the right or to the left. Keep your feet away from evil." And I'm thinking about when we live in a very divided time, right? We live in a very polarizing time and country. And but I would just say that when we unite, there's big things that happen. I've seen it happen all over. And so I would just say, let us try to focus on what unites us, right? Let's try to focus on bringing this city to the place that I believe that it could be. And you know, working through our differences. And again, I know that some of you may not believe what I believe, but I strongly believe that when we work together, God is pleased. So, thanks for what y'all do. I know it's not easy. And so thanks for showing up and bringing y'all's voices as well. So thank you. That's my time.
Thank you for addressing us this evening, and welcome home.
Ken Harris?
Everybody's changed around up here. Ken Harris, 1521 Rella Street, Port Huron, Michigan. I've been here going on almost 80 years now. And some things that happen and some things don't happen. But I guess the first thing on my agenda tonight is unfinished business that the city of Port Huron has. You know, I just made the trip out there to look at it again and stuff, and I know these people here frequent it, but the viaduct on the trunk line on 24th Street is covered with 6 to 8 inches of ice on both sides. We have tenants in the building, U.S. Ferrethane, that has sidewalks that run along 24th Street. They have not been shoveled. I don't believe there's been a citation issued to anybody in the city of Port Huron. In fact, this last 2 months has been hard. I'd love to walk my neighborhood and stuff, and it's been impossible for the last month. Part of it's my fault, but the rest of the fault is the people just don't care anymore. And I don't know if it's because of what, but it took this last storm for people to get up and start cleaning the sidewalks and things like that. But when I followed the city of Port Huron and stuff, I was interested with the meeting they had. It was called the State of the City. Why wasn't that state of that meeting held here at at City Hall where it should be? This is a place to discuss the city of Port Huron's problems and benefits and everything else right here. We don't have to go to a Wrigley Center or to South Park or whatever. We have a place here where people can get up, they can share their voice and stuff, and I would sincerely like to see everybody make that some kind of a rule that these type of meetings stay here. One thing that I also like to recommend is, as the old German-Russian neighborhood where I come from and stuff, is getting there and back now. I would like to see if we could put some restraints on. Mr. Frieda's got some projects slated for this year for Water Street. But I think it's time to tell the people that use Water Street to slow down. It's absolutely a car beater and motorcycle beater, whatever. It is falling apart, and with the frost coming out of the ground within probably the next month or so, the only thing it can do is get worse. Surprisingly, though, I was looking at the rental market and stuff, and our neighborhood has really changed. It was a German-Russian neighborhood when we moved in there, and basically the fact was the family stayed there. Now the Harrison neighborhood pretty much is I'd say probably 65% rentals and stuff. And the rental people have a different order on what's important and what isn't important. And I think it's time that we renewed I look back at the old picture here, it was 2003, and we used to have a contest, it was called the Home Improvement Contest. And paint up, fix up, and that type of thing. And when that died, the neighborhood started their dying, and they're really changing now. And last but not least, I guess one of the things that really that kind of bothered me is the fact that John Kennedy, I don't know if anybody knows John Kennedy or not, but he sponsored the American Indian boulder, or I call it the Rock, up by the Blue Water Bridge. And he passed away over a week ago. And I'd also like to say past City Council member Rico Ruiz, I understand he had some serious medical issues, and he's doing well, or not doing too well, and I just want to wish him the best. And with that, I guess I'll give you guys back in somebody else's turn. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harris.
Trash clown?
Trash the Clown. I'm going to look at this as if I'm reading notes, but I have no notes. I want to echo some things that other people said, and just that being an alien here to Port Huron, it's like fresh eyes. I get to see this place, and it's really special. Like, I hope that everyone recognizes. I might cry. It's just, it's not that small of a place, but it has that small town feel. God. I was sitting there, I'm like, man, I shouldn't talk about it because I'm gonna cry, but tonight I got to go to, to Blue Water Recovery and Outreach. They have a family dinner every Monday. Every Monday, like, that's insane. Like, to feed all the people that they feed, just to have that moment of humanity every week. Over the past few years that I've been clowning here, I've gotten to get close and meet so many different people from so many different groups that are doing so many amazing things within this town for the people. And
Here, trash.
no, we'll just let it fall. We'll just let it fall.
Okay.
Where I'm from, it's about the same size, but I never experienced this here. Man, oh man. This is where my heart is. And it has my heart because it's so special. And I hope that you all know how this is, my goodness gracious.
Trash clown, you have to address
Oh, I'm
the
sorry.
council.
Okay, I'll cry towards you. It's so special, and I hope you recognize how special it is. I hope that everyone watching this or here in the room just recognizes what a special town this is. So many people working together for the benefit of the city, of the community. And there's a lot of work to be done, right? But nothing that can't be done here. And I don't know. I think Port Huron has it in it to be an example to not only the county or the state, but I think it could be an example of what a community looks like. So I'm appreciative of you, even though I've gotten up here and I've gotten loud, and today I'm crying. But I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all the different groups, everyone I've gotten to meet. Yeah, I think while the year looks scary, everything looks loud and divisive and stuff, I think 2026 could be an amazing year for us in this community, and I think that we can get through anything together. No matter how dark it may seem, we can be light here. So, thank you.
Thank you.
And our final speaker for this section of our agenda is Jason Richards.
Jason, okay.
So, this is going to take more than 4 minutes, but that's okay. Last meeting that we had at the work session, the special meeting, the goal-setting meeting, I kind of went over some of the things we were doing with a special project that I kind of took on about 4 years ago with a overflow, for the sake of better words, a warming shelter. This year, boy oh boy. Normally we interact with about 10 to 15 people. This year it has been, over in the last 3 weeks, over 43 people. Women, children, ages from 3 months to 12 years old. And kind of like you said, makes you want to cry, and I hope I don't get emotional up here, and we don't want to start crying everywhere, but it's just kind of important. I want to make sure that I've kind of taken this as a project on my own. I do work with this population in general, but I don't for this county, and so I wanted to just kind of say, what can I do to kind of change some of the holes in the system? It's not about blame. It's not about who's not doing this, who's not doing that. It's just we all need to work together. And there's lots and lots and lots of miscommunication, not only with the public, but with the organizations. I've noticed that the clients or the, our population that are out there that are unhoused are very angry, very upset on sometimes how they're treated or not heard. I literally just left, I thought for some reason this was at 7 o'clock, shows you how many of these meetings I go to. So I'm like running late, I was gonna have a whole speech kind of put out, so I'm kind of running just with little notes I have. But I just was very, very saddening that all the things that we've seen in the last 3 weeks. BWA, all the other organizations that have come together, I'm going to be meeting with them to kind of come up with a communication to be able to bring to Mr. Freed. I don't think it's necessarily the city's fault per se on everything that happens. I don't think it's one agency's fault for everything that happens. And sometimes we just have clientele too that just don't want any help either. So I want to, we're gonna come up with an emergency kind of like meeting, call to action and say, okay, what are we missing here? From my experience on the ground, out in the streets per se, versus what everyone else is thinking or what they see. Then coming up with a second meeting of a plan of action saying, okay, if we have plan A, plan B, plan C, et cetera, maybe we can come up with something that way people don't fall through the holes and the cracks. Back to my last time I spoke, which was at the work session. I don't know if that was televised or not. I'm not sure how all that works. But I did, there was a discussion about Mr. Freed that you said, contact the police department, which we did. However, there seemed to be miscommunication there as well. However, we were able to, between your funds that you were able to get was $540 worth of rooms, which I applaud you for actually doing that and coming through with your word. I know you probably don't hear that a lot from some people out here, but I do appreciate that. Every penny counts. I also want to thank the private donors that came through with $430. They wish not to be announced. That helped with rooms. So altogether, almost $1,000 to help with many.
Jason, your time is up.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming with your comments.
Thank you.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Okay, that's it for our public comments from our city residents and business owners only. And now we will move forth to,
The city manager's report and comment.
okay, and I believe I checked in with the city manager.
I just got two.
You got something?
Yeah,
else?
just two things.
Okay, so he found something. Okay.
Yeah, just, you have my administrative report in front of you as well. I do want to talk about sidewalks. It is something we discussed with a couple council members this week. We do have a sidewalk ordinance to shovel your sidewalks. We have sent out warning letters to folks to shovel their walks. We've also done some social media campaigns to remind people to shovel their walks. There is what's called the Equal Protection Clause within our Constitution, state constitution, and it means that if I have a law, I have to implement it equitably and fairly. So if I become dropping the hammer, sending police officers out to write tickets on residential properties that are not shoveled, I have to do so equally and impartially and fairly. Here's the problem. We have a large number of senior citizens within our community. The majority of our population is senior citizens. A lot of those people are elderly with disabilities. What I would hate to do is to send officers out there and ticket a senior citizen who's unable to shovel their driveway and probably can't afford to have it contracted done, to be quite frank. And so, you're right. We are not sending the police officers out there door to door writing tickets for people who are not shoveling their walks. With that said, please look out for your neighbors. If you can shovel your walk and maybe shovel your neighbor's walk who's elderly, that would be much appreciated. I will send out a formal warning letter as well to all commercial properties and industrial properties that they too should be shoveling their walks. I don't want to be placed in a position where we have to go heavy-handed on sidewalk. I want to be aware of the population we have and the limited resources they have. So I recognize that the law's on my side. We can write tickets, but sometimes tickets don't solve your problems, okay? So be good neighbors. The State of the City address was sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce. It was not held here because this room only holds about 190 people, and we had almost 300 people or more at the event, so I appreciate the Blue Water Chamber for holding that. I also appreciate all the stakeholders who came out and got to share. And that's it for me, Madam Mayor.
Okay.
Mayor Ashford? I do have one question.
Okay, Chair recognizes Councilmember Lamb.
I was just going to ask James if, because the weather that we're at right now, are we prepared if we need to do some work on Black River? Should we have some crazy storms or anything?
Yes, I actually signed the tugboat contract for ice breaking this morning. So the contract is in place. We have our tug that can be operational within a couple days' notice to come over here and to break up the ice. Now, we have several flow gauges in the Black River, so we oftentimes, when we can see flooding up in Jetto area, that gives us about 4 to 5 hours time to mobilize to begin ice breaking. But we monitor the weather, we monitor the river upstream to see what it's doing, knowing that it'll eventually get down here.
Okay.
So we are prepared.
Thank you.
And I think you also prepared the rest of the council by sending out a communication. And you should have had communication. Everybody got the communication in regards to ice breaking?
Wanted
Okay.
everybody to
Yeah.
know that we're ready.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a good question. Okay, thank you. Okay, any more questions of the city manager? Okay, hearing and seeing none, we will move to,
The consent agenda.
okay, you have a consent agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Pemberton. Is there a second?
I'll second.
You will?
Yes.
Well, thank you. Second by Councilmember Huron. Is there any discussion?
Mayor Ashford,
Yes.
can we take Resolution 26018 off so we can discuss it?
Which one is that?
Number 4,
Number 4? Oh, the residency, okay.
since it was brought up at public comment.
Okay. Let it be known, church court, that we've taken off resolution number 4, okay?
Can we take the vote?
Okay, and now you can take the roll.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Peyton?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Haremza?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes. Okay, and the following remains on the consent agenda, resolution number 5, and that is approving the scheduling of a public hearing for February the 23rd, 2026, to receive comments on the general needs in community development, housing, and special services utilized by CDBG and home funds, and scheduling a second public hearing for March 23rd, 2026, to hear comments on the proposed 2026 annual action plan. Resolution number 6, confirming and approving single lot special assessments for special trash pickup in the right-of-way. Resolution number 7, confirming the mayor's reappointment of Carissa Kramer to the Downtown Development Authorities with a term to expire February the 9th, 2030. Now we'll turn to, from the city manager.
Accepting the unit price bid from ML Chartier Excavating in the annual estimated amount of $289,401 for the years 2026 through 2028, maintenance, dredging, and dock repairs for the downtown marinas.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Pemberton and second by
Support?
Councilmember Lamb. Is there any discussion?
Madam Mayor.
Yes.
These budget numbers are based off estimated quantities. What we do is we'll go out and do sonar testing to see if and how much we have to dredge. We haven't had to dredge the last couple of years, which probably means we have to dredge this year. There were some boat wells that were filling up last year, but they got us by one season. So I do anticipate we'll have to do some dredging, and this is based on historical quantity amounts, so it's an estimate.
Oh, okay, it's still a three-way split?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, no.
Wait a minute.
This is for the downtown Black
For the
River area,
downtown,
so this
okay.
is ours.
So that is specifically
Yep.
ours, okay.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. Okay, any more conversation, discussion about that?
I just have a question. So this is for the dredging and basically some maintenance to the docks. I know a little while back, we kind of had a proposal in for the state for bigger, more long-term planning, other than, just the small repairs that we need to.
Yep.
Any comments on that?
Yes,
or-
we're actually working with our grant writer right now, putting together a grant application for funding for that. But what this dock repair is more for like the annual maintenance. So the freeze and thaw cycle every year, it torques the docks, it messes up the docks, and so they got to go in and reset a couple of them. And so this is just more focused on the annual maintenance caused by the freeze and thaw of the ice.
Absolutely. And if we get if we got the other part, we could really get it more ahead of it. This is just kind of to maintain.
Correct.
Yep. Thank you.
Any more discussion? Okay, and then that price tag, the reason it is $289 is because we haven't done it at such a time, is that?
No, that's about what we spend
is
historically.
about
It's just based on the
the same.
historical amount, yeah, just history. But I do, you are right to assume it could be higher because of the, we haven't dredged, so that does keep me up at night.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it's a good concern.
All right, thank you. Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Peyton?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Haremza?
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes. Number 2 from the city manager?
Accepting the bid from Huron Electric Incorporated in the amount of $104,984 for the Hancock Street Sanitary Pump Station generator replacement.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support?
Moved by Councilmember Pemberton, supported by Councilmember Lamb. Is there any discussion?
Madam Mayor and Council, this was a budgeted item, so it came in just about on budget. It serves about 235 acres of residential area, so you kind of want that pump station to work.
Okay, definitely so.
Mayor Ashford,
Yes.
just one question. Have we used this company before?
A big,
I believe so, yes.
any more discussion? Okay, hearing none. Call for the vote.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Haremza?
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Peyton?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes. Resolutions.
Authorizing 26 payments.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Pemberton, second by
Support?
Councilmember Lamb. Any discussion on the bills we gotta pay? Okay. We got enough to pay these bills?
I hope so.
Okay. All right. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Haremza?
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Peyton?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes. Resolution number 2.
Approving the agreement with St. Clair County Community College related to maintenance responsibilities of Bard Street from Michigan Street to Fort Street.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Councilmember Pemberton, and second by
Support?
Councilmember Lamb. Any discussion?
Madam Mayor, you had previously approved an MOU with St. Clair Community College. We actually had technical difficulties that night, so I'm not sure how many people know about this. We want to begin finding a more pedestrian, safe way to traverse downtown. And so our vision is that from one river to the other river, we create a non-motorized, beautiful parkway pathway connecting the Black River through the heart of downtown, through SC4, into the Black River, so from the St. Clair River to the Black River. This will be the first step. This will be removing a piece of roadway that's currently near the manor, which they own. In the future, we could see it being connected. Over the course of the next few years, we're going to develop a master plan for Bard Street all the way through to find a way to make that a non-motorized pedestrian corridor, to create a pedestrian bridge to connect our communities. This is the first of multiple initiatives across the city, because we don't need all the roads we got, folks, and to find a way to make them more usable, and more pedestrian friendly. So, and the exact same explanation goes towards the next resolution as well, so.
The same, yeah,
Yep.
they're both the same. Yeah, and just to amplify it a little bit more, what James is talking about, what we're trying to do here as a council is to make it more a walkable community up here, and they call it placemaking. And throughout the country, and specifically here in the state of Michigan, we're doing a lot of placemaking where we're trying to move towards, like bicycle and getting people out there and bringing back that community feeling. You see each other. You're not in cars or anything. So we're trying to change that image downtown, that little footprint, so you can feel a little bit more like you belong and you're at home, coming together as people. Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Peyton?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Haremza.
Yes.
Mayor Ashford.
Yes. Resolution number 3.
Approving the agreement with St. Clair County Community College related to maintenance responsibilities of Stone Street from River Street to Glenwood Avenue.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Lamb. You're going to switch it up this time.
Yep.
And you're going to
Apparently.
support. I don't know if y'all sleep down here or what, but you know, I'm going to put you guys to work down here. Okay, it has been moved and supported, so roll call.
Councilmember Peyton.
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton.
Yes.
Councilmember Haremza.
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb.
Yes.
Mayor Ashford.
Yes. Resolution number 4.
Approving the City of Port Huron residency incentive policy.
Hit, girl.
Oh,
You want
you
to
do
move that? You had it taken off the consent
No.
agenda.
Terry did.
Oh, Terry, you had it. Oh,
We need a
okay.
motion though first.
We need a motion. I know, I just wanted, okay. So is there a motion?
So moved.
Okay, is there a support for that motion?
Support.
Support.
Oh, she
Now,
beat
both
me
of y'all
to it.
wanna talk. Okay, well, I got to play any
Support it.
money more here? Okay, so support it. You can hold on a minute, James. Okay, so supported by Councilmember Haremza. James?
Yep, Madam Mayor and Council, we believe that there's tremendous value in having police officers, firefighters, and public servants live within the city they serve. It's very important. It's very important for a couple reasons. One, just simply response times. Let's go back. Many of you may not know this, but under state law, we cannot require city employees to live within the city of Port Huron. We can't even use it as a hiring determination. It's actually discriminatory. So I can't even ask, are you going to move in the city? What are you going to move in the city? It wasn't even required for me to live in the city, believe it or not, as a city manager. We have about 30%, if not, in this just next 5 years, 30% of our city employees who are retiring. Do I believe someone's going to sell their house and move in the city of Port Huron for 5%? No. Do I think it's going to prevent some city employees from moving elsewhere right now who could sell their home for a rich profit and move? I do. I do think it's going to be a good retention tool. When we go to young folks who are starting out in the police department and fire department and public works, folks with CDLs, people who are really trying to recuperate, to onboard and to get here, I think when they're starting out their career, we say, hey, we'll give you a 5% pay bump if you choose to keep your family in Port Huron. You don't have to, but for a young person, that's a good incentive. My goal is to increase the residency rate of city employees, because I think there's just tremendous value. I think there's the paper value of having people here, they're paying taxes, they're contributing to our neighborhoods. I think there's also the deeper value of when you drive down a street and it's your home, you love it just a little bit extra. And so I want city residents to feel like they have a real stake in the future of this city. So both for recruitment and retention, but also getting residents here. And it's part of our growth strategy as well. Now, there are scores and scores, I lost count of how many cities do this across the state of Michigan. Someone mentioned down payment assistance. They are right. That is something that we are looking at as well in the future. Grand Rapids does that. Other communities do that. I got like a dozen communities that do that. So there's something we'll be looking at in the future as well. But we want the consistent, not just buy a house, stay here for whatever timeline, then sell it and take the money. We want you to live here for the long term.
Thank
Did
you.
that answer you?
Yes, I just, my profession for 33 years, I had to live within 30 minutes of where I worked because of response time. It's a big deal,
Yes.
and it's important. So I just wanted you to explain it as you did with us. Thank you.
Councilmember,
Yeah, I guess not a question, just more of a comment. To your point, it is a very competitive job market, so I think any small incentive is good, but I think the other part, not response time, but just, bridging those relationships and working with the community. They do a great job already, but to your point, if someone's next door, I just think it's just another step to bringing the community together, so I'm all for it.
One of the things is we also want to entice more city residents to apply for city jobs. I want our, I gotta be careful how I say this. I want our candidate pool to be very diverse. I think it's very important that the city staff is representative of the city population. I think it's critically important. And so we have to be strategic in how we do that. Equipping residents, like for instance, CDLs. We need people with the CDL. So if you want to go to truck driving school and come work for us, come talk to me. I'll pay for your school to go to CDL school and come work for us, because we need that type of skill set. And so we used to say there was certain populations, certain segments of city staff that's really high demand. I will tell you, almost every role in the city now is a certain level of education and skill set. The most sought after people, the most difficult positions to fill are going to be in our water and wastewater plant. I mean, those people are scientists over there. And there's really not a college degree on how to run a sewer plant. You have to work the job in an apprentice program for like 5 or 6 years to get the licenses, and you build up till you can run your own plant. To find young people who are willing to stick with a career for 5 to 10 years to become a plant operator, that's going to be real difficult. You know, it used to be you get a job, you work for 20 years and you retire. The next generation, they kind of like to work 3 to 5 years and bounce around. Well, in some of these jobs, we need a long-term commitment to really train people and invest in people. And so trucks are expensive, fire trucks are expensive, patrol cars are expensive. The most valuable asset we have is human capital, and we got to incentivize them.
Mayor Ashford? if I
Yes.
may? You know, I'm torn on this, but I will say that I experienced in real time when I lived in Detroit, and when the police officers, the firefighters, when they all were able to move out of the city, our neighborhood took a hard hit. And it was nice to know that we had the city workers that were close by and the response time and that they invested in the city. And so I did see the benefits of that, and I also saw the decline. And I like that we are offering up this program to the city workers, so.
Any more comments? Well, I like the fact that it is a choice, you know, so we're not mandating or anything like that. And another caveat to this is that, you know, we're declining in population. And when you think of that, you think money from the federal government. How many people do you have? How many people are you servicing? This is just one way that we can draw people in and still have other things operating. So if you don't have nobody living here, that money is going somewhere else other than Port Huron. So just bear that in mind. Okay, so no more comments. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Haremza?
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Payton?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes. Okay, next, we're at public comment.
Carol Miller?
Here, while you're coming down, let me get my 2 cents in here. Speakers may, you have 1 4-minute opportunity to make your comments. I know you know the drill, but I just thought I'd just have it since it's here.
No problem.
Go right ahead.
Good evening, Mayor, City Manager, Council members, Madam Clerk. I'm here to address an issue that directly affects residents, public safety, and animal welfare. How lost and abandoned animals are being handled in the city of Port Huron, and the growing burden now placed on county animal control because of a policy change. It is well known that a significant majority of lost or abandoned animals handled by county animal control originate within the city of Port Huron. At the same time, the city has extremely limited holding capacity, by all accounts, only enough space to hold a single animal. That reality creates barriers for residents trying to find lost pets and shifts disproportionate responsibility onto the county. This concern has become more urgent following a recent and highly publicized incident involving the Sheriff's Department and the murdering of an innocent dog. I want to be clear, I'm not here to debate that incident tonight. However, the policy change that followed, it has real consequences, and those consequences will be felt by the cities, but especially here in Port Huron. On January 20th, 2026, the sheriff publicly stated to the Algonac City Council that 1, deputies will no longer respond to stray animals unless there is a dog bite or an immediate danger to people. 2, stray dogs are now considered animal control's sole responsibility, not law enforcement, since they will no longer help animals even in these sub-zero temperatures. 3, deputies are no longer meeting residents in animal control or handling routine animal calls. Whether one agrees with the shift or not, the result is clear. Cities must now carry more responsibility, particularly after hours. Right now, it's not clear that Port Huron has the infrastructure, the staffing, or partnerships in place to do this effectively. This creates 3 major problems. Animals are left without timely, humane assistance. Residents are confused about where to turn or call when they lose a pet or encounter an abandoned animal. And county animal control is absorbing the burden, often without adequate support or collaboration from the municipalities generating the majority of the calls. So tonight, I'm asking the city to actively engage, not defensively, but constructively. What does the city of Port Huron currently have in place to handle after-hour animal calls or temporary holding? Is the city evaluating options to expand capacity or formalize after-hours response? And if those options are limited, is the city willing to sit down with the county controller to explore a more collaborative model, whether that is shared services, expanded agreements, or joining county animal control in a more meaningful way? Additionally, I'm asking for clarity regarding training. What animal welfare and humane handling training do Port Huron police officers receive? How often is it refreshed? And how are officers expected to respond when animal control is unavailable? This is not about assigning blame, it's about recognizing that policies have changed, responsibilities have shifted, and the system has gaps that affect animals and residents alike. Port Huron has an opportunity to lead here. By engaging with the county, acknowledging the increased burden, and committing to collaboration, the city can improve outcomes, reduce confusion, and better serve its residents. I've stepped back forward to assist the county controller with animal control by once again getting a host of volunteers in that entity to assist with the animals and getting those that have nobody into a loving and caring home. I ask that residents join our volunteer group, and I'll be posting an informational meeting online. I respectfully ask the mayor, city manager, and council to take this issue up formally and continue this discussion beyond tonight, and to join us into creating a city and county of animal welfare that we can all be proud of, not turning the other direction. We have a problem that can be remedied. Please be part of the solution. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you for coming forth.
Eileen Tesh.
Good evening. When I was here back in January, after a unanimous vote was taken on this J.B. Thompson huge development project here in the city, it was concerning to me that there was little transparency regarding who the tenant was and the nature of the business that was going in there. It was rushed through because they had been, James Freed said he had been working on the project for 10 years and we had to get it approved, otherwise it would have been stolen away. And I said, well, even if you wanted to give the public information on this project, you wouldn't be able to because James Freed has signed a confidentiality agreement with the EDA who's involved in this project. And James Freed's response was that he had never signed an EDA, signed a confidentiality agreement. Well, Dan Casey, I have him on a video at a Port Huron Township meeting back in April 2025, where he specifically states that all board members must sign confidentiality agreements. So, in fact, I have a copy of the confidentiality agreement, and specifically, this one, without specifying what city manager or supervisor signed it, the important part is, as part of this confidentiality agreement, it says, I agree that I have a fiduciary duty to preserve and protect the confidentiality and secrecy of all data, communications, deliberations, and discussions to which I become privy to by virtue of my service. I understand that many issues discussed and communications received are of sensitive nature regarding the corporate partners in St. Clair County. I understand that all the EDA board and committee functions are confidential and that reports are confidential. Now, Dan Casey also said in this April 2025 meeting with Port Huron Township that they were revising this agreement. I filed a FOIA. I wanted the confidentiality agreements back from the time James Freed was involved with the EDA back to 2014, and I got my wonderful response, $71 worth, and you're not going to believe it. No confidentiality agreement exists. So perhaps you could, I obviously intend to appeal, but once again, last time I appealed, when you couldn't find your questions of ethics, you discovered them. So I'm asking you to relook at this FOIA And otherwise, I will have to file a judicial review. There are confidentiality agreements.
Thank you very much.
And our final speaker is Curtis Carl.
Good evening, Curtis Carl, non-resident taxpayer. This seating arrangement, I didn't get to comment on that last time. It's very cute. Reminds me when I was in school and I was misbehaving and the teacher relocated me. So I get it. It makes a good statement, shakes things up a little bit. Last week I was contacted by Frank Donnelly from Detroit News. Not sure why this little town's in the crosshairs, but a lot of the things that we've been bringing up, or these issues we're bringing on ourselves, is getting more than local media attention. You're getting big city media attention. When you segregate public comment and you make me go last, I think this is just silly. No reason that we just all can't speak together, but if you want to divide us, and you don't want to unite us, and you can't come to meetings, you don't come to a meeting, your motion didn't pass. Then you come to a meeting, and you get to segregate us. It's sickening. Somebody that wants to segregate our public shouldn't be on city council. He should want to unite us. But maybe he'll scurry off to the county board or wherever you're going next, and maybe you won't be up here soon enough, because I heard that you might be making a move. But maybe you can hold two positions. I don't know. The majority of the people don't want you up there. The state of the city, I can say I enjoyed it, but not everybody knew about it. It'd be nice if it was held here. I understand we don't have enough room. Plus, we can't have cocktails here. So I enjoyed having a cocktail, and it was all good. And to hear about all the good things in the city, but we do have other things in the city that aren't as good, and we need to talk about those as well. Water Street, I know we're gonna get on that in the spring, and thank you for getting the cold patch in there again. It's the routine that we keep going through here. But a lot of motorists have chosen to start driving on Black River because there are no potholes out there. I can say I honestly did the same thing. I took a 100-year-old vehicle down that river, and it's smoother than shit. And then I got off at Water Street, 12th Street boat ramp, and I went from there to the Dollar General. And mind you, this is just a few houses. That poor old car. But it's okay. In 16th Street, I've talked about this before. Southbound from Lapeer to Gillette. Mainly Jenks to Gillette is really bad. That road's still good, but that section is really good. Years past, you'd go along and you'd see where we'd cut out the concrete and we'd put some fresh concrete in a really bad spot. That's a good candidate for it. I can say that we did it years ago on 10th Street, but we've just we just go back to the cold patch. You know, we got to start cutting these bad areas out and just getting some good concrete back in. I don't know if you have a city crew that can do it, but out in the township on Water Street, down by my road, last fall the county come out and they cut out the bad spots and they got a crew. It took a few days or week or whatever, but they cut out the bad and they put in some fresh concrete and it's all good. The cold patch is only a temporary fix. We got to get back to that. Cutting it out, I know we can't do the whole roads, but if we could at least cut out some of the bad and get some fresh in there, then it'd be good. The ordinances on storage and whatnot, I have a friend, he's a boater, it was a boating community. The guy keeps everything up, he's a really, really good guy. So instead of worrying about our sidewalks being plowed and stuff, he gets contacted by the ordinance guy from the city. His boat that is registered, plate's legal, gotta go,
your
he
time
had to
is
go
up.
park it somewhere.
Thank you so much for your comments. Okay, so that's it? Okay. So I will entertain a motion for, first of all, does anybody have anything to say?
Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Just a quick thing, I think it's important for the public. At the meeting in which we approved the sale of the property, at the end of that meeting, Ms. Tesh came up and falsely accused me of signing non-disclosure agreements, that we were hiding this from the public, even claimed that perhaps it was a secret data center that was getting built. Quite the contrary, I again have never signed an NDA. The EDA Board of Directors exempt public officials from the confidentiality agreement. So the township supervisors, myself, we are not obliged by any confidentiality agreement. When she requested it, the documents via FOIA, that's why we couldn't provide them, because they don't exist. I've never signed an NDA. We gave her, gosh, maybe close to 100 pages, 100 pages of documents, all publicly talking about the company's name and what the company does and what they're going to do there, which is an auto parts company, the same thing I told the public. So then to be accused again tonight of signing confidentiality agreements and hiding things to the public, it's just the silliness and stupidity that has become what she peddles. But if you ever want to know what's going on, feel free to FOIA us. We'll give you all the documents. They're all readily available. We're not under any NDAs. Anything we do is subject to the public scrutiny, and that's why the founders designed it that way. Also, I just want to thank Lisa DeLong and the DDA for an amazing Chili Fest. I want to thank Chad Natesel and Tim Ainsworth for the amazing races that they put together on the river. Extraordinary. I'd say several thousand people down there. I think hopefully we can get it a couple times this season. If the ice is thick enough, maybe we can find another site if there's no ice. I think it's very good. The chili, I made it through about half the chili samples, but you got them all. You ate, she was a judge, and you ate every single chili sample, so I'm impressed.
I had to go get some Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah, that was a lot of chili. I made it halfway through. And, but I just thought it was a great weekend to have the downtown Chili Fest and then to see the amazing races on the ice. It's just a pretty incredible weekend. I did see the Model T going down the river. Had to look twice to think I was,
Yeah, it was crazy.
it was great. It was something fun. So anyways, thank you it was a lot of hard work on everybody's end. So thank you.
It was a great job. I mean, we just seem like we just have a lot going on the weekends, and I like to see the people out and about. And I would like to, a special, I'd just like to thank God for our community because, I did have a chance to go over to Be Warm the other day and visit some more places that were helping our people that were in need. And I mean, the churches and everybody, they were bringing food. I mean, they were just coming from everywhere. They didn't even have to say who they just wanted to make sure that they were doing their part. And a lot of times we get this mixed up, and I keep hearing they say the church is a building, but we are the church. We're the temples here. And what you do from the kindness of your heart, it makes a whole lot of difference. And so that was all representation of our city of Port Huron. So if you're listening out there, so thank you for what you did over this weekend and what you continue to do, and you always do when people care. And so thank you so very much for caring about others. So with that.
Madam Mayor?
Okay.
I just had one quick comment to what James was talking about this weekend. I did think it was two great events, and what I really liked is they started promoting it together to make the city alive everywhere so it was a really good weekend. And just one thing I'd mentioned to you before is that, the way events keep getting bigger, to have them every year. We can't always guarantee the river will be frozen, so maybe just in the future, I think it's a real tie-in for Chili Fest, is just basically Black River, but have a default place. If for some reason it's not frozen, that we could have it land that ties into Chili Fest. But how it worked out this weekend was great, but we can't always obviously count on the river being frozen. So thanks again for everybody that contributed.
Right, yeah. Okay, all minds clear here? So is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.